Good morning. Another beautiful day in God's kingdom. So many times we live our lives as if God doesn't see the things that we do. We just basically do whatever it is that we want to do, flout God's laws and everything. And because nothing seems to be happening, no consequences and all of that, it's like, yep. God is not saying anything. I'm fine. But let's take a look at the story that we have before us today as we go into the book of Luke. And we're in Luke chapter 7. And let's read what it says from verse 36. It says, "But one of the Pharisees came asking him," that is Jesus, asking Jesus to eat with him. And Jesus entered the Pharisee's house and he reclined. And a sinner woman who was in the city, when she knew that Jesus was staying in the Pharisee's house, she took an alabaster vase of ointment and she stood behind Jesus at his feet and she was weeping. And she began washing his feet with her tears and wiping them with the hair of her head. And she was kissing his feet and anointing his feet with ointment. But when that Pharisee who had invited Jesus saw, he thought within himself and he said, if this one were a prophet, he would have known who this woman is and what her reputation is, for she is a sinner woman who touched him. Okay, legend has that, and the scriptures I'm saying, kind of indicate that this woman was a prostitute. And so this Pharisee was saying, look, this man, I thought he was a prophet. If he was indeed a prophet, he would know this woman, she shouldn't even be coming near him at all because she's a sinner. And that was what he was thinking. And so many times the same thing could be happening. This woman has lived her life, she's done all of these things, and now she comes to Jesus. But you see, the difference here is the fact, and that is what he didn't recognize, what this Pharisee didn't recognize, was that Jesus saw that this woman was at a point where she was ready to turn her life around. She was ready to say, she was saying, I am repentant. I recognize I've lived a sinful life. I recognize that I've done things that I shouldn't have done. I recognize that my life is not glorifying God. And now I am ready to change. And so she comes to Jesus and she comes and goes to his feet and begins to wash his feet, doing that which the lowliest of the lowliest servants would do. And she says, because there's nothing else, there's no other part of his body, there's no other way I can show him that I'm repentant than that I do this thing. And so she brings the most precious thing she has. And then what does she do? She's washing his feet with her tears and she's wiping his feet dry, with her hair, and then anointing him. And that is the point where Jesus says, hey, yes, I recognize that you're a sinner, but I also recognize that you're repentant. I recognize that you're ready to turn your life around. And every time God sees that in an individual, he is ready to forgive. He's ready to say, hey, I accept you as my child because I can see that you're ready to turn your life around. You have come to the point where you say, I can't do this life. I can't live this sinful life anymore. I am now coming to you and I'm saying, Jesus, take over my life. I give you all my mess. I give you all my rubbish. I give you everything. Whatever it is that's left of me, I give to you. And I'm saying, take over, come and be the Lord of my life. And of course, Jesus will never reject such an offer. He would never reject someone that comes to him in that manner. So let's not be very quick, unfortunately, like this Pharisee was, to judge and prejudge. Hey, God sees everything that we do. But when we say, hey, it's time, when we say, I'm fed up and I want to live a righteous life, God will always be ready to take us on. God bless you. Have a beautiful day.